This is New Line of Business, and today we're going to be doing a Rainbow Six operator tier list. This is updated for Year 6, Season 1. I have played every single op, a decent amount, and I have a decent amount of experience with the game across 2 accounts, about a level 130, 140, so I feel like I can talk about this. This is going to be based off of their state as of April 19th, 2021 in Year 6 Season 1. So I'm just going to go in the order this tier list gives us. Starting off with Ying. Now, Ying is actually what I would consider pretty mediocre, because her Candela is a little hard to learn, but once you do, it's pretty good, and the fact that you can go through services actually is really good. Her guns, we're also going to be talking about guns, not just her abilities. Gun is pretty good. She's got some good tact, she's got some good secondary stuff, so I think she's essentially the definition of a probably mid-tier B. This is going to be going in order, so it'll be like mid, high, B, low, stuff like that. You'll see. Blackbeard, my boy Blackbeard has been nerfed into the ground. High D. I would say high D for Blackbeard. Again, if you disagree with any of these, please leave your things in the comment below or bully me. I really don't care. Doc is an instant S tier. I don't even think the fact that he can heal his teammates is the best thing about him. If he gets one tapped or something and he falls behind cover, the fact that he can revive himself at high health. Need I say more? MP5 doesn't have a decently zoomed in scope anymore, but overall, I would say S tier, basically mid to high S. Alibi. Now the problem with Alibi is it depends on how stupid the enemy team is. I think Alibi is anywhere from a low A to a high B, but I'm going to put her highest potential, I would say, is in about probably mid A. Average would probably be low A, high B, so I'm just going to put her in low A. Dokkaebi. You have to... I'm not even that good with using Dokkaebi. Dokkaebi, I feel like not a lot of people use her correctly. I feel like there's 2 ways people use Dokkaebi. They either use her to distract people with the phone, or to find people. And the latter is far more effective. So, if we're talking about the way normal people, most people play Dokkaebi, at least from what I've seen, probably B. But if we're talking about the way that Dokkaebi can be used to find people, and the fact that she can access defender cams, and the fact that she has a boss G, I think grants her mid-A. So she's higher than Alibi in A. Thatcher, I'm honestly gonna put high A. I feel like people don't realize, but is he better than Dokkaebi? Yeah, because Thatcher's easier to use. He has a really good gun. I feel like people really underestimate just how good Thatcher is. He may be an OG op, but he's still incredible. You could have the defense team completely close off a reinforcement with a Kade or a bandit, and you need a Thermite, and you can't get through there. Thatcher's done. You're getting through if you have Thatcher on your team. And just being able to completely wipe out a room of any traps or anything, very much deserving of high A. If he had a slightly better gun, or his ability was just a little bit of a bigger radius, I think I would put him low S. But I think high A is a pretty good spot for Thatcher. Cap, low C. Mediocre guns, unbelievably mediocre ability, essentially a worse Tachanka with his fire. His smoke is pretty good, but you got smoke grenades. I guess the only thing that is redeeming about him is nothing. He's just completely mediocre. But he's less mediocre than Ying, but in the other direction. Mira. Now you have to, again, like Alibi, and a lot of these come down to skill. But Mira can be used incredibly effectively depending on how you use her. If you use her for pure intel and reinforce all the walls around her, you could use her for having like one wall fortified, one wall soft, and just shoot through the other wall. Mira can be played in a lot of different ways. The fact she has a nitro cell pairs perfectly with her being an intel-based operator. So I think she's deserving of high B, low A. I think what's holding her back is the fact that her vector is terrible at range. it has no sort of range whatsoever. So I think high B. High B is a good spot for Mira. There is definitely an argument for putting her in A, but it all comes down to how you play her, and those play styles can have small variations in where you put them on the tier list. Buck, it depends on the map. If there is a map with a lot of soft walls, Buck is going to be your best choice. If there is a map with not a lot of soft walls, or the team reinforces really good areas, Buck is not as good. But that doesn't take away the fact that he has a really good assault rifle and a really good shotgun in one, and grenades. So I think Buck is deserving of I think mid B. Mid B. Because even then, there are abilities that are better. And there are ops that have better shotguns with better abilities, like Dokkaebi. Glaz. This is the Glaz nerf. Glaz got nerfed. Nerf got actually a decent while ago. But I still think low A. His one-tap capabilities, I would say he's definitely probably better than Cali, just because of his ability. He is what makes Capital viable. If you've got him in Capital, but you're running an op to combo with an op, so you're literally running Capital just to help out Glaz. But this is not about Capital, this is about Glaz. Low A for Glaz. If you're really in any other situation, you're just gonna have to pray that those body shots hit. If you're not in a long range situation. But holding back, depending on the map, again, so I think low A is a pretty good spot for Glaz. Clash is a high S tier. She may be annoying, but you can't deny that she is an insanely good operator. Easily high S tier. Better than Dog. If there was a tier above S, I would put her there. Unbelievably that she can have a full shield, very similar to Nomad, and still be able to do damage. Monty, low S. You're going to have to be good at knowing where to go to play Monty. You're going to get probably team killed a lot. But if you can play Monty correctly as intel and protection for your team, he's definitely a low A. No, almost no offensive capabilities, so low A. If he had like an SMG maybe, then he would definitely be like mid-high S. Maestro. My feelings on Maestro have changed. I used to really like him, but now I realize that his evil eye is not that good. It is better. Oh, it's better than Zero, but we'll get to Zero. Maestro does have a good LMG. LMG is really good. He's got the Balif, which is one of the best pistols. But I feel like the evil eye's purpose of being a laser camera, the laser's not that useful because people can just turn around and boom, one tap it if they're fast enough. It is really annoying. So I think the fact that it can be annoying and distracting, and it can have the opportunity to do damage and get intel, I think he's worse than you. So I think I'm going to put him low B. Maestro is mid A. Lower than Dokkaebi, but higher than Alibi and Glaz. The combination of being able to make a really tiny hole almost silently in a reinforcement with a really good weapon, just that whole combination, and the fact that his ability literally never runs out. Like, have you ever run out of a Maestro ability? Maverick, I mean? Not Maestro, Maverick. No, you probably haven't, unless you're just literally taking out an entire wall. So Maverick's easily mid A, although it can be incredible. If you miss your shots through that hole, you're dead, because you literally only your head's going to be exposed, and they can turn around and just shoot you. Because they have to shoot a far smaller target than you do, and if they just kind of shoot around that area, you're dead. Nomad. I have recently started to see an increase in people picking Nomad, and an increase in her viability. But is she still viable? Kinda. It depends. The air jab is so it's not unpredictable. It's just, it's hard to position. Because you could blast someone right back to where they came, and that doesn't help you. Mid B. Mid B. She's got a pretty good gun. She's not better than Buck, though, in my opinion. Valk? It depends. It depends on your black eye placement. She does have a nitro cell and a really good SMG. As a roamer, I think she does her job quite well. Low A, high B. Frost, mid A. I would say she's better than Dokkaebi. No. Because Dokkaebi's takes skill, Frost takes a lot of luck, a little bit of skill for positioning, but I think she comes in most in those clutch moments, in those when he's got like 10 seconds to get to the point, and they don't care if they're gonna run through a trap and they're not checking. All the mind's only focused on getting to the point. That's where Frost shines. The fact that she also has a really good gun with a low enough fire rate to still be good, but not have to really have that much recoil control. Frost is a very strong operator. Twitch is better than Buck. Actually, I'm gonna change his Capitower placement and put Twitch here. The thing with Twitch is the fact that one of hers gets deployed during the planning phase is terrible. If they didn't get deployed during the planning phase or the scouting phase, that would be amazing, because you're pushed to get that intel, and you're not being safe with your drone because you need to get that intel and finding out what they are and where the bomb is or where the objective is. So, and like, what are you gonna hit? A couple cameras? Like, it's so hard to judge her taser's distance. It doesn't have any sort of extra protection than a normal drone. So overall, she's a pretty operator. Moving on to Gridlock. It really depends. Gridlock is mainly used to combat camping, as you can essentially force them out of their corner, or essentially reveal exactly where they are. So, but then again, her gun is everything else about her is her abilities kind of I think low mid B. She's better than Maestro. I would not say she's better than Ying, because Ying has a pretty good gun. Pulse, if you've been to any of my streams, Pulse plays. Twitch.tv/no line of business. Don't want to plug that too much, okay? Pulse can be played in a couple different ways. You can play more of as an active roamer or a defensive intel. Very strong gun. Nitro cell pairs perfectly with the fact that he can figure out where people are. I would say he's essentially the Valkyrie of the attack team. But I think he's better than Valkyrie because his ability is more versatile and you can move around with it more. Lion. Again, it depends on the other team's skill level. If they are smart enough not to move, then he's useless. But again, just like Frost, he's more better used in those clutch situations where defenders maybe a roamer trying to get back to the point, and if he pops that, he'll know where they're coming from. So I think high B. I do think he's better than Mira, though. No, I think he's better than Valkyrie, but not better than Pulse. I'll put him low A. And this is the thing about Siege. It's so hard because a decent amount of the operators are really balanced. There are some that are on the lower side and some that are on the higher side, but a majority of them are balanced, and that's one of the things I really like about Siege. The Tachanka rework made him finally viable. Oh my god, I've been waiting for Tachanka to be viable for so long. I'm honestly gonna say he's not better than Pulse. Low A. The Shamika launcher, it does take a little bit of skill, and it can be really good if you're returning to the point to try to flush out people camping like an angle. And his gun, oh my god, his gun. I think, honestly, just for his gun. No, but Lion's gun's also good, so I think I'll keep him there. Zofia, however you pronounce it. Here's the thing. She's got a really good gun, but a very mediocre ability. Literally, you have an impact grenade and a Grismont mine. And the Grismont mine is so hard to use. Not hard to use, it's just confusing to use. I think for that, low B. But all the sweats still play her. I don't know why. Kade! Now here's the thing. Is Kade better than Bandit? Yes. Kade is better than Bandit. Better gun. No nitro cell. And a better ability. He may have less, but it can actually get multiple, so I think technically you can actually have more things electrified than bandit, depending on if you can place it well. He's got a good gun. I think that's a good spot to put him. Low mid-A, getting close to mid-A, is pretty good. Because unless they've got a Thatcher, they're not countering that from the outside. Mute! Mute is, in my opinion, the worst Mozzie. Technically, he kind of is for drones. But Mute blocks a whole lot more than just drones. Iana drones. Like the Iana holograms. Dokkaebi. All this stuff he blocks, and Mozzie only blocks drones. He may take control of them, but I think, but the thing is, Mute, he's got a mega. He's got the MP5K, not the MP5. He's better than Valkyrie. I just keep pushing Valkyrie down. And I would say he's better than Tachanka. So I think low A. Literally a majority of the operators are low, mid-low A. Thermite. Depending on if you have a Thatcher to help you with a Kade or a Bandit, Thermite's pretty good. I would say he's got a really good gun. He's got a Claymore. He's got a really good ability. I would say mid-A. I would say he's better than Glass, better than Alibi. Not better than Maverick, though, because Maverick's more for fighting people. Thermite's more for breaching, and I feel like you can do more from with the Maverick. Hibana, the worst Thermite. Worst Thermite in every way. Worse gun, less breaching. She's like a beta Ace. She's literally the exact same as Ace, but worse. Same with Thermite. Low A. I have been getting a little bit of a sweet spot for Hibana recently. Better than Valkyrie. I really looks like I hate Valkyrie. Rook, highest A possible. Actually, no, lowest S possible. He's got the best MP5 because he's got a high scope on it. Armor is insane, especially when used with the 3 armor already. Overall, really good. He's got impacts, so on bomb he can make rotates. Pretty good. Ash. Alright, all the sweaty Ash mains. I don't know if you're ready for this. Wait, no. Here. No, here. No, here. I had to think of that one for a bit. Lobby. Good gun. Okay ability. Actually, no. She is lower than Buck, because Buck has a shotgun on his thing. Like, Buck is better. Same, basically, just takes a little longer to breach, but he can deal damage while breaching. Ash's thing takes a decent while to shoot and reload. Bandit, so he's worse than K, so he has to be lower than that. His gun is okay, depending on the range. It's really good close. He's got a nitro cell. I think he's here. He goes here. He's very close to Kade. And they have very similar abilities. Ella? I'm going to put Ella here. The Grismount mines, when used properly, and if you actually pay attention and go attack the area you put the Grismount mine in, is really good. Her gun is insane. If you just do a little bit of recoil control. And overall, I think she's a pretty good operator. Better than Alibi because she doesn't rely on luck as much. She relies far more on skill. Sledge. Sledge, really good gun, really good ability. I would just say he's in general just a better Ash, essentially. He's got an ACOG, slower firing gun, but it hits harder. He's essentially the soft breaching Thermite. It's kind of what I would call him. So, I think I'd put him yellow. Actually, I'm going to move Glaz down here. Now that I'm kind of seeing how this tier list is shaping out, I think I'm going to put him right there. Echo. Echo is a high A. Very high A. Very good gun. Very good secondary. Amazing ability. The fact this thing goes invisible. You have a drone on defense. It's insane. It's insane. The Sonic completely disorients the enemy. Castle. Castle is terrible. His ability is countered by almost every single attacker. As long as you have a breach charge, you're good. And even if no one on your team still has a breach charge or something that can breach a castle barricade, just go through a reinforce, because you're going to have a hard breach if you don't have anything that can go through a castle. He does have a UMP though, but still F tier for his terrible ability. Vigil, E. Vigil is so bad. So bad. I have not seen a single situation where Vigil's actually been useful. He does have the boss G, which is what makes him better than Castle. But not much better. I barely pick Vigil. He's just so bad. There's no reason to him. If it didn't give a detection that Vigil was going invisible, then I think it would be better. I think he would actually stand a chance, maybe be high D, mid to low C, somewhere in that range. Like somewhere in this range. I feel like if it didn't give a notification if he was going invisible or visual signal, then he'd be a lot better. Because oh, I'll just get off my drone and watch by myself. Smoke, pretty good gun, pretty good ability. Overall, he's a pretty good op. I think he's a very solid operator. He's a very solid pick. You can never go wrong with Smoke. Not really situational. He's overall pretty good op. Is he better than Alibi? Yeah, I would say so. But he's better than Pulse? No, I'm going to just move Pulse up because I still think Pulse is an amazing operator. I'm actually going to move him above Thermite. Mozzie? I'm going to give him high C. Gun? Okay. Both of his guns. All of his guns are eh. His ability is very useless because, like, are you really gonna use the drone? Like, what are you gonna use it for? They're gonna notice. Like, you at this point just get a Valkyrie because it's harder to spot, and you can kind of get it up in higher areas. So you can get more vantage point. Oh, Fuse. I'm gonna give Fuse a low S. The thing is, if you're playing hostage, he's an F. Never choose Fuse if you're playing hostage, obviously. But the thing with Fuse is if you can get above the point or in a wall next to the point, they're done. Everyone's had the points done. Just continuously popping Fuse charges. Even if you don't get a kill, you probably gotta force someone out of a corner, which then probably gives your teammate the opportunity for a kill. Gun's good. Everything else in him is good. Fuse is a low S. Blitz, mid S. Not better than Monty, because if you play Monty right, he can have more of a defense than Blitz, which is better for the team. And the thing about Monty is he's almost completely invincible from bullets in his shield form from the front. Blitz can be shot on the side, but god damn it, I hate when blitzes just run right up to you in melee. It's so annoying, especially when they're crouching and they're so close to you, because then you can't really see. But Blitz is still a really solid operator. Very annoying, but still really good. Finka, high A. Better than Echo, I would say. The fact that you could revive someone from just across the map is insane. Good gun, and all the other like little hidden buffs of her ability, I can't name them because there's so many. But I think overall she's a really, really good operator. Good gun, good sight, everything for her. Jaeger, very, very good weapon. Really good ability depending on what team comp they're running. If they have a lot of throwables, he's amazing. If they don't, he's still got a pretty solid gun, and there's got to be someone running some sort of throwable. So I feel like a buff would him be being able to shoot drones. If they're thrown in his vicinity, I feel like he should be able to shoot those. That would be a little buff. That, I think, would make him pretty balanced. Or he might become a little overpowered because his gun is really bringing him up. So I think I'm going to put, is he better than Mute? Yeah, I would say so. Right there. This is probably around mid-A at this point. Cav. Now, I am not very good at Cav. I'm not very good at roaming, but if you're good at roaming, Cav is a high S. Mid S. She needs better primaries. She doesn't, that make her OP? But if she had better primaries, she'd be completely overpowered. And just the interrogation, amazing. Louison. Or Legion. Not Louison. Legion. That's Cav's gun. Legion. Really solid. Really good gun. The fact this thing's go invisible is insane. As long as they don't hear it, you're good. High A. High A. IQ? Low B. No. High C. Look, what's the point of IQ? Literally, what is the point of IQ? You could, if you just take 2 more seconds to look, and you don't have to run IQ. Only thing saving her is that she's got a pretty good gun, the AUG. Only thing saving her. Now, Cap can, again, just like Alibi, depends on how stupid the other team is. But if they are really stupid, or if it is a clutch situation and they run through, Capcan is amazing. I would say it's a slightly better Frost because his things are easier to spot. Better than Dokkaebi, though. Actually, no, better than Legion, I would say. Yeah, he's still got a pretty solid gun. Jackal. I've been starting to get into Jackal more, and he's very good. Very good gun. Really good ability if you can use it in the right situation to either find a roamer or find someone in a corner. Overall, I'd give Jackal around here, mid to high A. Very solid. Warden is a high E. Only thing that keeps him from an F is the MPX. And the fact that he's literally the only person he super counters is Ying. Literally it. They need to buff him. They also need to buff Knock. This was not a good season. It was season 3. This was not a good season. Year 4, season 3 was not a good season for Siege. Both of the ops, terrible. But I'd say Knock is better because she actually hides from cameras. Unlike Vigil, the defenders really use the cameras, and there's a lot of them. So I would say Nook. Low, no, Heidi. Because she doesn't have super good gun. Wamai. I think Wamai is one of the only operators I still don't understand how his thing works. But from what I can gather, he's probably high B. I don't know much about Wamai. That's one that and Floors are 2 operators I don't know much about, but everything else. Amaru, she's very risky. You can go in for a really early game push and just kill everyone, or you could just completely fail and die the moment you get to the window. Or you could do it for something else, but I mean, who playing Amaru does that? I think overall she's a pretty, like, mid B. Actually, no, like, low B. Basically almost all of Season 4 is not that great. Now for Cali. There's not much interesting about Cali. I mean, she's got a real sniper rifle. Low, actually no. High B. Just because her sniper rifle's very hard hitting. Goyo got a buff. Doesn't have to be a deployable shield anymore, which is nice. Still is not that very good. You can just use Tachanka for the fire. So I'm gonna put Goyo higher than Maestro's off. Right here. They're actually being clamped together. Year 4 season 3s are being put together because they're all really mediocre. Or just bad. Like Warden. Oh. And now we get to him. Onyx. In my opinion, the worst operator in the game. An ability that actively harms him. Literally, if you bust through a wall, you're stunned for like a second or 2. You're just gonna get shot because you're so loud. I could go on forever about Oryx. Actively harms him. He's got an okay gun, but even that, the worst operator in the game. I don't think there's another operator you can even argue would be worse. Possibly Castle. But I still think Castle's at least got a pretty good gun, as Castle Barricade does have a little bit of use for just slowing them down for a couple seconds. Oryx is completely useless. Cool concept, would have worked way better as an attacker. Iana would have worked way better as a defender. Why were these two not switched? She could have been like a fake roamer. She could have been a roamer who sent another one of herself to get intel. Basically just could have been Mirage from Apex. But on attack. Ho ho ho. Oh. Her gun, combined with the intel capabilities of her ability, give her, honestly, I would say a high A. Mid-high A. Ace. My lad Ace. Good gun, good ability. Basically, slightly worse than Iana, I would say. Because I, in my opinion, I like Iana's gun a little better. Malusi. MP5, insane gun, insane ability. Not better than Blitz. Mid-low S. Zero, good gun, almost completely useless ability unless you put it like high up on the barricade. It's just, like, just use a drone. Just use a drone. No, like mid B. Actually, no, like low B. Better than Gridlock and Goyo, and Amaru, and Ying. So yeah, he's mid B. He's mid B. The last two. Aruni is an S tier. Low S. If she had a better gun, she would be completely overpowered. If she had a better automatic gun. Aruni Gate's insane. Makes them either waste a grenade or a drone, and if they don't have either of those, they literally can't get through it. Her metal fist, basically making rotate holes and massive peek holes. Aruni is amazing. Now finally, the last operator. Floors. I don't know much about Floors. I haven't played him too much. It feels like he doesn't work. I've never even seen a Floors thing explode. I'm just gonna say, nope. Probably low B. Now again, I haven't played much with Floors, but yeah. So here is the full Rainbow Six Siege operator tier list, in my opinion. Basically half of the operators went A. I think, based off a decent amount of experience, this is my list, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.